Hello everybody, I hope you are all well. So welcome to just a bit of a general hobby update. I thought it was about time I did one of these because obviously there's been a few things going on. Mainly I was moving house, so I thought I'd just take the chance to show you the new hobby room. It's pretty much there. I've just got a few extra things I want to get, but I've had quite a few messages of people saying, can we see the room? So why not? I figured that would be a good idea. So what I'll do in a minute, I'll break out the gimbal and show you around. But I thought I'll also just have a chat about the projects that I'm working on at the minute, where they're going and what you can expect to see over the next few updates and the next few battle reports. Okay, so as you know, the main projects that I'm working on at the moment are the Anglo-Zulu War project and my First Crusade project. Now the First Crusade project has sort of ballooned a little bit, like a lot of the stuff that I do, and I'm now mainly focusing on my Seljuk and Fatimid forces, as I felt like I'd done quite a few Crusaders. Now, I am primarily using 3D printed models from Reconquer Designs at the moment, which are based around the Reconquista, but I think they work absolutely fine for that First Crusade period as well, or location rather, it's all kind of the same period. I'm basically about ready to start having games. Now, there have been a couple of games on the channel already using Hail Caesar against Robin. We do intend on playing more of these, and I think what we're going to try and do is build together a bit of a campaign the way that we did before, starting with some small skirmishes and building our way up to a much bigger battle. But I think the idea of that one is that we'll build up, we'll start off with some simple escort missions or rescue missions, and then build up and build up and build up, and just see where that one goes. Now, the Anglo-Zulu War is a much slower project. It's a real slow burn. I've completed one division, if that's what you want to call it, an impi of Zulus, and I've now completed 4 units for the British, although 2 of those are artillery. You might see those in a minute when I have a little look around the room. However, I'm going to do a separate update on those because I basically have just been painted up the Naval Brigade, and they have a really interesting history, and I feel like that deserves its own video. In fact, that's a little bit like the stuff with the First Crusade, is I want to kind of just do a video focusing on this one unit, so you can see what's going on, but I will throw some pictures up so you can just get a quick glimpse of what's to come. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the camera on the gimbal, so I apologise if it's shaky, and we'll have just a quick spin around the room so you can see it as it is at the minute, and then we'll come back here and just chat about a couple of other things. Okay, so here we are. Here is the new hobby room. This is where I sort of do all the painting, make and edit the videos, and no games in here. It's not quite big enough for that, but this keeps me out of trouble. So I can just show you sort of what I've done and what I've set up. Down here is still loads of models that I've got to put away. Basically, on these shelves, I've decided to put the main books that I've been reading and using. These aren't by any stretch of the imagination all of my sort of reference books or history books, but these are the ones that I seem to have been using the most over the sort of last year, or ones that I'm waiting to read, such as all of these books here. So like the Campaign of 1812 in Russia, that's one that I want to read. This Waterloo Letters book, if anybody wants to pick that up, that is an excellent book, just like this one, Voices from the Peninsula, as well. They're both basically accounts from the Napoleonic Wars, and they've been edited into these sort of collected volumes. As you can see here, I'm just keeping these guys. These are the most recent things that I've finished, so these are just living on the shelf at the moment until they get added to the respective army box. Everything from about here onwards is to do with the Wars of the Roses, so I liked having that all nice and easy to access. Shelf up there, just some more of the units you'll have recognised from previous updates, just waiting to go into boxes. This shelf here, this is all the War Games rules that I use currently. So as you can see up here, we've got our Hail Caesar, Black Powder, Pike and Shot, Deus Vault, some bolt action bits, Dead Man's Hand, Saga. Which one's this? Oh, this is The Kingdom Is Ours. Still want to really want to play this game. This is one that I keep on trying to convince Miller to play. Muskets and Tomahawks. Bushido. That's the first edition. Hang on.
There we go, Bushido, 2nd edition. That's a fantastic game. Moonstone, another one that I really want to try. Soldiers of Napoleon, Pickett's Charge. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all, but you know, I like having my rule books out here. Even things like Infinity. And I found some of my old, very old Warhammer 40,000 codexes, but they're just there for nostalgia. A few books that are just too large to go anywhere else. This is all Wars of the Roses stuff, pretty much, apart from down the bottom here where you've got some Legion and some Middle-earth things. Then when over here we start getting into sort of the pile of shame. So these are all the boxes of stuff that I haven't made, apart from this one, which is empty for just reasons. So as you can see, some of the things I've still got to work through, just leftover French Napoleonics, the Ramshackle Church, and a friend picked that up for me. More Arab spearmen, Byzantines. Just basically just a big mix. This is all Zulus and British infantry over here. More Star Wars Legion stuff. These are filled with metals of various types. What's this? What is this? Oh, this is Empress miniatures. These are more. These are for a command for the Anglo-Zulu War. These are more command. So that'll be another command base to do with those. Down below, again, more boxes. Some of these got sprues in. Some of these are actually just boxes of rules as well, like Test of Honor and 0200. Some of my 3D printing bits and bobs there. What up on these shelves, I just keep some various odds and ends. My grandfather's medals from the war, and these are the bits that you'll see that we use in battle reports. So things like dice, cables, bags, dice trays, bits of foliage to chuck on there. But yeah, so this area here, kind of a bit of a mishmash at the moment. All that down there is Napoleonics. Up onto the desk, I've set up the 3D printer and the curing station. This white box is just going to be doing the rounds, I think. There we go. Look, we'll chuck you back up there. So this is the 3D printer that I use and the cleaning station that I have set up. It's quite handy on here because I can have all of this going over here. I can make my models up over here, and then I paint basically over on this side over here. All my tools and scrapey things are all over there, and then all of my paints and bits and bobs are kept in these, apart from they seem to spend a lot of time on the desk. So that's my paint drawer. This is all basing and tufts in here, and then down the bottom here we have cotton wool. No, we have static grass, just odds and ends really. These are, what are these? These are polystyrene bricks. I used those when I was doing the castle, and other odds and ends. Big collection of spray paints and glue. Well, I say a big collection, enough for me. So varnishes and different sprays. These are the ones that I use on the teddy bear fur fields that people keep asking about. But I do need to restock on a couple of things there. This is all bases. This one here. Oh, there we go. This is just a big tub of MDF bases. I find it much easier just to keep them all in one place. Over here, I'm quite happy because I've managed to get some of my art up on the wall. These are two pictures that were kindly given to me by Sean from Metal Mercenaries, and these are both by Chris Collingwood, and he gave me these pictures. These are lovely. They show the struggle for Hougoumont in the Battle of Waterloo, and what I love about these pictures is you have this one here from the French perspective, and then you have, it's exactly the same moment here from the British. So if you look at the position here of the officer there, and if you look at where the flag is, if you look down here, it's the same moment, just further along. So I really like these. They were released in limited edition. I think there was 500 of each pair. But that's lovely, and I'm very happy to have those on the wall. I've got a big blank piece of wall there, ready for some more artwork. I've got my eye on a couple of pieces, so I'm hopefully going to have those up in the near future. Over here, this is where I'm doing all my painting. As you can see, it's set up at the moment because I've been doing some painting. I'm doing a painting video, and this is the sort of the arm I use for doing that. You can see the camera and the microphone set up for me to do the live stream. I'll talk about these in a minute, but you can see here something that I'm I'm working on. It's a little bit different. I need to clean my palettes badly. Other bits and bobs are under there, are spare boxes and other odds and ends. Over here, this is the bit where I really need to sort it out now. I've got another unit which is going to come in here, so all of that will go in there. But that brown box down there, that is just completely full of sprues, except for that one there that wouldn't go in it. Around to here, I've got some shelves in this nice sort of corner unit set up. Oh, let's open it up and have a look. Okay, so we've got things like Wild West Exodus, Dead Man's Hand, Dux Britanniarum, Burrows and Badgers. My Star Wars Legion bits are here. Now, I do have more, and I haven't come across those yet in the unpacking. Down here, Middle-earth, plenty of Middle-earth in there. And then room for the Zulus here. And my Saga force and Bushido forces there. And I haven't filled the bottom one yet. And the reason is, the reason I haven't filled it is because I've got far too many miniatures. And I need another glass front. Now I'm actually going to get another one and I'm going to be putting it on this side here. Because you can see I've kind of got these random shelves with minis on. I'm going to turn that one into a display as well. Currently, basing materials and pace are up here. This is all Crusades. This apart from this box here, you won't ever see these, but in the battle reports I do for Hail Caesar, Black Powder and Pike and Shot. This is my sort of gaming toolbox, if you like. Let's bring it over here. And in here you've got everything like dice, casualty markers, all the bits and bobs you see us throw out on the board, like shaken tokens, all the different casualty markers, although this is a Nassau guy chucking some water. So I always have that nearby in those games, so I can easily access everything. So that is there. Also, I needed room for my RPGs. If you watch the podcast, you know I'm a fan of tabletop RPGs, so I've got all of those there, the ones I play. So Forbidden Lands, Pathfinder, Mutant, what have we got down here? More Pathfinder, and then down the bottom, the One Ring, which I'm hoping we're going to have some games of soon, Conan, and just all sorts of other ones. Round to this side, you probably know that I am a big Tolkien fan, so I've got all my Tolkien on one shelf, my Bernard Cornwell on another, and then all my graphic novels down here. Now I say all the ones I want out are down here, and then we sort of have a random shelf there. Now all of this stuff here is just waiting to go away. Up here, these are all 3D printed miniatures that I keep up here, so everything that I've printed off that's waiting to be painted, and a couple of other things up there which I'll come on to. But these on here at the moment, these are just waiting for a home. So we've got some British tanks for the desert campaign there, the British infantry for the Zulu War, some other odds and ends on there as well. So that's basically the room. And of course there's the way out. Oh, and then I have my Barnet artwork up here. I've got another Graham Turner picture that's going to go right there. So it's a room that I'm very happy with. Very, very lucky to have. Anyway, let's get back to the update. Okay, so I've also got a confession to make. I went into Games Workshop, which is just around the corner from me. It's like a 5-minute walk to pick up some new paints, and I walked out with stuff, basically. These are some Age of Sigmar Seraphon Saurus warriors. These are the new lizard men, and they were painting them up in the shop, and they just look awesome, and they're dinosaurs with clubs. Now, if you watched the Plastic Crack podcast, you might have seen I had a little bit of trouble with the rocket that I was putting together. In fact, I think that episode is the most I've sworn in a 2-hour period. And after putting that together and painting up the Naval Brigade, and also working on these First Crusade figures, I just wanted to paint something completely different. And I thought, dinosaur holding a club, you can't get much more different from that. So here's a picture of what I've worked on and kind of the colour scheme I've gone for.
This is based, if you follow the channel called Cult of Paint, they have a really good colour scheme on there. I went sort of used that as a basis for what I wanted to do, and then just swapped in some other colours and effects to sort of make it my own. I decided to go with a sort of some simple jungle basing. So this is just the Vallejo wet mud, and it's got some sort of shredded pieces of bark and bits of wood pressed into it, and then I've used a gamer's grass 3D laser cut sort of leaves to give it that jungle sort of base, and I've also just, as always, stuck a couple of tufts on there, and I'm really pleased with how he's come out, to be honest. I think he looks all right. He's it's the first Games Workshop model that isn't a Middle-earth model that I've painted in quite a long time, so yeah, I'm pleased with that. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, but I like dinosaurs, and this one's holding a club, so I thought that was ace. So where are we on upcoming games? So the next game you can probably expect to see on the channel will be the conclusion to the Saga campaign that Robin and I have been playing. That will take us to 4 games. That'll be the 4th battle report, but the 5th game, and that'll be a nice conclusion to our little narrative campaign for Saga, just sort of highlighting that system, which we started in January, but obviously moving house had a bit of a pause. Along from that, we will be starting the Crusade Hail Caesar games, as I say, but I also want to start looking at Dux Britanniarum. It's a system that I think doesn't get enough of a spotlight. So we're going to play some games of that as soon as some people get their forces together, but I might have some other opponents as well to play against, and there might be a couple of new faces on the channel as well. Another game that I really want to play, and I'm desperate to get a game of, is Soldiers of Napoleon. Now, this rule set I picked up last year. I've heard and seen great reviews of it. I've watched games, and I really want to play it, and it's basically just finding the time to slot this all in on the channel. But I very much want to give that a go, so you can probably expect to see some of that in the future as well. Now, I should probably just make a quick comment on some new models that you may see floating around on the internet, and you might see linked to me, to the channel, and I'm going to do a general video on this subject. But basically, yes, I have commissioned some models to be sculpted, and I am incredibly pleased with them. They are based in the 15th century, they're based in the Wars of the Roses. What else would I do? And it's just the start of a fun little project, and I just wanted to see what would happen. So you're going to see probably some more pictures coming up on various Facebook groups or forums. You might see these, but what I'll do is I'm going to share now, hopefully on the screen. You can get a little tease of what's coming, but I will do a complete video about these, about how I went about it, the sculpting process, because I did not sculpt these. I'm no way, I'm too cack-handed to even do this. So I'll talk about sort of how I go through it with the sculptor, who's Macross from Reconquer Designs, who kindly gave his time to help me do this, and we'll have a look at what's coming, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it, because the project is still underway. There's still a few things left to do before these would be available in sort of any way, really. I've got to make sure that there's a few things done, but anyway, it's just a little tease, and I hope you're as excited as I am. Anyway, it's just a quick update, just a quick hobby update to sort of say where we are, what we're doing with the channel, and what you can expect to see over the next few weeks. So the next video you see will probably be either the First Crusade focus video, or it will be the Anglo-Zulu War Naval Brigade hobby and history video. I'm currently doing a painting video as well, a command base, which is a lot of fun, but it's just taking a bit longer because of course my command bases have more than one figure on them, and this is a complete start to finish on that, so it's a little bit longer and in depth than normal. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all keeping well, and I'll chat to you all again soon. See you later.